is thinking.
I'm dedicated to it. I can't be stopped.
3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. It's Ted Nugent, Real America Voice Spirit Campfire. I am the czar of middle finger, A10 warthog, truth, logic, and common sense. And if I did a documentary, it would be called Ted Nugent is America. But we already showed the trailer for Roseanne Barr's documentary called Roseanne Barr is America, which is why she deserves me and I deserve her. Roseanne, can you grasp the love real Americans have for your fine ass and your middle finger and your truth, logic, and common sense? Can you grasp this?
Sometimes I can, but I can't grasp much of anything except for fighting my ass off to save this country. That's all I can really grasp, and I'm glad to hear people are thinking like me and you. I used to didn't think like you. Remember the last time me and you was on a broadcast together was on that Anderson Cooper deal when I was playing the part of a complete retarded liberal. Remember that? Remember that about 15 some years ago?
Yeah, you did a fine job. Hey, Roseanne, I got to tell you, I don't know if you were monitoring my flame-throwing truth, logic, and common sense ass all these years, because I've been doing this for over 50 years, where Constitution, God, family, country, the Bill of Rights, the Ten Commandments, the Golden Rule, independence, critical thinking. I figured that out when I was about 18. But that time on Anderson Cooper, you say you were playing the part of a retarded liberal, which they're all retarded. They're mentally ill. They're literally spiritually vacuous. Was there a pivot point shortly after that? And can I take any credit for clobbering you upside the head?
Yes, I'm going to tell you how. Well, I was raised to be a retarded libtard because my whole family was, socialist. I was a red diaper baby. They were from, my family's from Russia and the Ukraine when it was big there to get rid of the Tsar and all that. They had that background, and then they came over here to get rid of the commies because they didn't appreciate it too much how it turned out, But for some reason, they still stayed socialist, like all these people that come to our country and bring their diseases with them of the mind. So I was raised like that. And, I used to follow you closely, like these libtards follow me, trying to ruin me and cancel me and all that they do. But I was like that with you. Boy, I was obsessed on you. I was so pissed off at you, damn it. I thought you were just the crazy patriarchy that I had to come after. And that's why I went on that there Anderson Cooper to tell you how wrong you were in the whole deal. And I tried my best too. And then I still said hi because I wasn't all the way libtard like they are now, where they spit in your face and try to kill you and burn your house down, and kill your kids and all that shit, and cut your kids' off and stuff. I wasn't that far gone because it hadn't progressed as progressiveness does progress like cancer. But I was only in the confrontation phase there. But I was still a nice person, sorta. So I talked to you and said, you and me ought to do a point counterpoint kind of deal. So and you said, yeah, that was a good idea. Anyway, so as I go home, and I'm like, I turn on TV to watch how brilliant I am, like all libtards. And by God, I thought I looked like an idiot.
Now, Roseanne, there's a lot of footage of me taking on so-called debates with the Pierce Morgans in public television and leftist hippie MTV dirtbags. And I do get passionate, but I always remain respectful and gentlemanly while making my points. And here's what turns people, and I've turned so many. I literally turned Pierce Morgan because if you're going to debate the Second Amendment, you're not going to call on Ted Nugent and get a limey to play Concord Bridge again. I mean, we already established that back in 1776. But you came to the truth, logic, and common sense because all of a sudden you were questioning the propaganda of liberal retardism, and you were seeing that if you wanted quality of life and freedom to be the best that you can be as a pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness, that the conservative mantra, it applied to individual freedom. It's not a huge leap, is it?
Well, I'll tell you what turned me really I mean, that was a good crack in the head, seeing myself looking like an idiot. And it did crack me a little bit. And then I was living on the island, the big island, Hawaii, where I took my son to a school for gifted kids, and because he couldn't fit in regular school. And I moved there and I became an organic farmer, you know. And so we were, all the organic farmers over there was trying to prevent Monsanto's Roundup. They were forcing us to use it. They were making laws. And then I realized, my God, there ain't no government. They bought the government. The government is making laws on behalf of dirty, satanic corporations that wants to poison and kill the Americans. So I ran for president in 2012 on that exact issue about who bought our country. And therein I began becoming a radical constitutionalist. And I have become more and more so every year, you know.
Well, again, you say radical
because
constitutionalist.
without laws, we don't have a country, and we don't have any rights against the psychopathic, crazy ass billionaires that think they're going to decide who's going to live and die.
Yeah, well, when you say radical constitutionalist, I mean, there's nothing in the history of mankind that is more radical than defying kings and emperors and the lifestyle of global slavery that the founding fathers raised their middle finger, and they came to a new land and went, wait a minute, the king and his henchmen can't just have a freedom of press and dictate propagandas. The king and the henchmen can't have the right to freedom of speech. The king and the henchmen can't have all the weapons. We are individual creatures from God, and we have independent spirit, and we have God-given, self-evident, truth-based rights. Now, when you mutilated the national anthem, which was hysterical, but it was also painful.
It was painful to me.
Were you deep into the retarded liberal propaganda puppet lifestyle, and did that help you get out of that because it was embarrassing?
You know what was so sad, because I meant, you know, you watched my trailer, and thank you for showing it.
I'm going to show it a lot. I love it.
It's coming out June 1st, you know, in 85 million American homes. And so I hope people will enjoy it, because it kind of is the story of how I went from retard to patriot, and, you know, my life along the way, with, you know, a firm basis in God. I always was a believer, and I was always from, you know, a religious Jewish family. But, you know, my family, like I said, they didn't like to be ruled by czars and kings either. But they, at that time, like it is now, kind of, people thought there was only two choices: to be ruled by, you know, tyrants on the left or royals. And America is the proof that we don't have to do either. We have our own way. We decide our government.
Yeah. Well, we're supposed to, and we did on November 5th, 2024, for maybe the first time in my lifetime. Reagan was pretty good, but he was also bamboozled. Reagan was bamboozled to sign the National Firearms Act, which was an infringement against the Constitution, against the premise of America. Number one, Roseanne, thank you. We love you that you have risen up, because it's not easy. You know what? It's actually been easier for me to be defiant and conservative and constitutional and truth, logic, and common sense. It's actually been easier for me to be that all my life than it is for mentally deranged people to come from the puppetry, the slavery, the control of the propaganda ministry and the Uncle Sam deviates. It's more difficult for a heroin addict to quit than for Ted Nugent to have never started heroin. So you are a brave. I give you.
I know you're trying to get rid of me, but I got to say something.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Oh, okay. Well,
you have 2 minutes, and they're all yours.
Okay. Sometimes the person that you're really angry at, like I was at you, they're trying to show you something.
Yes.
And you showed me something. And I hope that speaking of mental illness, I was indeed mentally ill. And I went through a healing process where I am now no longer suffering from horrible mental illness. And so I do have more common sense and I'm more centered. I'm not trying to fight a million battles in my mind or my soul anymore. I am happy to be centered in common sense and gratitude that I made it through, and I wouldn't have made it through as a woman in any other country but this one. But here's what I want to say before you kick me off. Look at my gun. It's signed by Trump. And look at this side here. I got it like...
That's so beautiful.
Ain't that something? And it's a pearl handle with the, whatchamacallit. It's engraved beautiful. There. Never beautiful. Surrender, President Trump. Take America back. And look at me. I shoot all the time. I got me an 8-point buck. It's hanging on my wall. I came back to the land of the living. I was the prodigal daughter. I came back to the human beings. Thank you, Ted, for having me on your show.
Well, I love it. We're down to about 10 seconds. God bless you. You're down in Austin, Texas. You're going to come back on after your documentary, Roseanne Barr is America. I'm going to have you on again soon to continue to promote this because you're proof that anybody who has been strangled by lies can come back to the truth, logic, and common sense. We truly love you. Welcome to Real America, Texas, not just geographically, but spiritually. Roseanne Barr is America. Keep your eyes open for it. Happy Father's Day every day. Happy Mother's Day every day. Happy Thanksgiving every day. Happy Independence Day every day. I love Real America. You people deserve me.